Yo, what's going on, yo? I'm JB Hoops, and today I'm breaking down the game of Amen Thompson, a potential top pick in the 2023 NBA draft. He's one of the most insane basketball athletes I've ever seen. I've also recently hit 1,000 subscribers, so I'd just like to say thanks to all you. So let's just start off with his stats from last season. So Amen Thompson is a 6'7" guard out of the Overtime Elite. He has a twin brother who's also probably going to be a top 10 pick, and they are both incredible athletes. The numbers from last season are pretty inconsistent wherever you look, but off the ones I have right in front of me, Amen Thompson averaged 13.8 points, 6.6 rebounds, 3.8 assists, along with 2.1 steals and 1.4 blocks on the defensive side of the ball. He shot a very nice 53.4% from the field, but really struggled shooting from beyond the arc and from the free throw line, but I expect some of these numbers to continue improving into next season. The first thing that stands out when you watch Amen Thompson is his generational athleticism. His first step and bounce is absolutely mind-blowing. He takes incredibly long strides to beat his defender off the bounce, and then can get to the rim from the half-court line with just one dribble. He's just freakishly athletic. But he also uses his athleticism on the defensive end. He can rapidly cover tons of ground, allowing him to recover when he's beat, close out to shooters, sprint to beat his opponents to the spot, or just send their shots back into the stands. And in my opinion, Amen Thompson is one of the most incredible basketball athletes of all time. Some of the things he can do on the court are just incomprehensible, and that's largely what makes him so intriguing as a prospect. Amen Thompson's gifted athleticism shows itself most prominently through his finishing ability. He can sky for crazy dunks in transition, but he's also quite polished as a finisher and has some really nice footwork. Amen has soft touch with either hand, but he also possesses elite body control to adjust his shot mid-air, and he's great at using the rim to protect himself. Thompson also has the strength and hang time to free himself from contact to finish inside, and I also really like how comfortable Amen is driving to his left. He has excellent touch on his left hand and made some super tough left hand scoops and floaters. So whilst Amen Thompson is a great athlete and tries to dunk everything, he also has a ton of moves in his bag to score in other ways. He can finish below the rim with either hand, he has soft touch and really impressive footwork, and he's going to be a real matchup issue at any level he plays at with his size, athleticism, and overall polish as a finisher. What makes Amen Thompson such an elite prospect, outside of his athleticism of course, is his fantastic feel for the game and ability to create offense and set up his teammates. Amen seems to always know where his teammates are on the court, and his spatial awareness and overall feel is just incredible. Amen Thompson has excellent court vision. I think he has lead guard potential because he can operate in the pick and roll, create an advantage with his burst and speed, make timely and accurate passes with either hand. Some of the cross-court passes he made were really impressive. And with his amazing vision, because he can get paint touches, force defenses to collapse, he's always going to be able to dump off to his bigs, as well as kick out to open shooters, as he just draws so much attention getting into the paint. One of the main areas of improvement for Amen Thompson will be tightening up his handle. It can be very loose at times and leads to turnovers or just generally making things harder than they need to be, but he already has a deep bag of moves and unrivaled explosiveness and body control, so the handle doesn't seem to negatively impact Amen very often, but tightening his handle up will only make things so much easier for him. He'll be much more dominant as an advantage creator, and it will also just help him create space for himself. And I think we'll see him improve on that in this upcoming season, so I'm super excited to watch Amen Thompson develop. Now moving on to his defense, Amen Thompson is an excellent defensive prospect. He excels as a point of attack defender. Obviously his elite physical tools help him out a ton on this side of the ball, but he moves very well laterally, has a 6'10" wingspan, as well as really good hands to poke balls loose and rip ball handlers. Amen also has really good anticipation, and he's really active in passing lanes. He's also super impressive as a help defender and weak side shot blocker, averaging almost 1.5 blocks per game and displaying his ability to cover ground on the defensive end. Amen has really good timing going for blocks, and he's also pretty good at challenging vertically and not fouling. I think Ausar is probably the better defender at this point, but Amen Thompson is definitely no slouch on that end. Moving on to his shot creation and ISO scoring ability, Amen Thompson has the potential to be almost unguardable in ISO scenarios. Like I said before, he definitely needs to tighten up his handle, and obviously needs to become more of a threat to knock down jumpers. But his ability to manipulate defenses, stop on a dime, change pace, and explode in any direction makes him insanely difficult to contain one-on-one. Amen also shot 33.3% on off-the-dribble jumpers last season, and if he can continue to improve as a pull-up scorer, it's just going to make him so much more difficult to defend. If Amen can consistently knock down jumpers when teams load up on him to keep him out of the paint, it's just going to be game over, and he's going to be one of the best players in basketball. Now onto his swing skill and biggest area of improvement for this upcoming season, which is his shooting. Amen Thompson's shooting ability is by far his biggest knock. Over the course of 30 games, he shot just 22% from 3 on just under 2 attempts a game. His shot is very clunky and doesn't have much of an arc. He doesn't really get his legs under him when he shoots, so it's a whole lot of shoulder and wrist in his shot, which is very apparent. And I think that's why his shot is so inconsistent and he has some pretty bad misses. I don't think he'll ever become a good shooter with the form he had last season, so I think he'll have to make some pretty significant adjustments. But from the shot towards the end of the season and at the TBT, his form looked a little better and a much more smooth motion. But it definitely still has a long way to develop. But with the amount of reps he's going to get in the OTE, I can definitely see it coming along. And I think even if he could just develop into a respectable shooter, that could really make him almost unguardable. That's all I got for this one. Leave a like on the video, comment down below, subscribe for more. I'm a little sick when I'm making this, so if I sound a bit weird, that's why. Anyway, that's all I got. JB Hoops, out.